welcome to the podcast. I'm Risa.
I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. As a reminder, this podcast is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
Yeah, and if you don't like that, well, it's just a thing we say at the beginning of every episode of the podcast, so I feel like you should know by now to get out of here. Go on, get out of here. And find a family-friendly podcast like Amateur Sleuth Pod.
Yes. You can listen to archived episodes of Her Interactives podcast, Unlocked.
This is true.
But I'm not sure you actually can.
I'm pretty sure I think that they have them on their YouTube.
Okay.
That's the only place I've ever heard Unlocked, so...
Yeah. So, Ariana, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're not really talking so much as reacting, because you know how normally we give, like, these hot takes? We decided to react to your hot takes.
Yeah. Topic, reacting to your hot takes. I put it up on screen, because I am so good at that. So I asked you guys on Tumblr, Instagram, and Discord to send us your Nancy Drew hot takes. And we're going off of your guys' answers. And we'll react to them. I've seen some of them. I have not seen all of them. So do you want to start with
I haven't seen any
Instagram?
of them.
Yes, it's great. I'm very glad you haven't seen any of them, because then we're going to get your authentic reaction.
Yep. Well, let's start with Instagram, sure. Because it comes first alphabetically.
Yeah. We got how many responses?
I don't know. I just said I haven't seen them.
Our first one is, Captive Curse is meh and boring. I forget most plot points on replays.
That's fair. I feel like I personally like to, rewrite a lot of the plot in my memory, so, I can understand that. I feel like I just like the characters best.
It's definitely a character piece. I agree. So, I don't agree, but I respect your opinion.
It's a fair opinion.
Yeah. Fox and Geese is easy. I mean, it is when No. It's easy the first time you do it. When you're allowed to pick whichever way you want to go.
When you have to corner them in a specific, pattern.
That's where the bullshit lies, and that's where you're wrong. Even if you say you're not, you are. You just think.
Fox and Geese is a game on a whole. Super easy. Super fun. Love it.
Yeah.
The puzzly part is a lot. I still like it, irritating. But it's
yeah. Okay. I don't like the new game and won't play it again for Mystery of the Seven Keys. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's a take a lot of people have, actually.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the take for myself.
No.
I plan on playing it. I liked it fair enough. It wasn't, the best, but it wasn't anywhere near the worst.
No.
So,
it definitely, like we said, it kind of pittered out in a weird way. But I personally liked it.
Yeah.
And I really liked that I saw a TikTok a couple of days ago, and I could tell...
You saw a TikTok? Where did you see a TikTok?
Oh, we watched, compilations on YouTube.
So I was like, who are you?
I saw a TikTok on YouTube. It was... I could tell it was Prague, and then I could tell right away... I saw the goddamn tower, or the clock tower.
The astronomical tower.
I know this, because it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, I liked that part of it especially.
Yeah. Nancy is too wealthy to be relatable or a role model for many of us. Not a hot take.
Not a hot take. Very, very, very lukewarm take. it is just feeling the temperature of the water, you know?
But yeah,
She is...
agreed. There's no way for her to be relatable.
Like, her giving advice to people about, like, jobs and stuff, it's like, Nance, how about you cool it, all right?
Yeah.
Not all of us got daddy to fall back on, all right?
Nancy should be single. Not Ned, not Frank. Single.
Okay. Respect that take, for sure. Definitely a reasonable take. My take? She should be with Deirdre.
Yes. Agreed.
Valid take? You have a very valid take. I think she should be with Deirdre.
Yeah. Another response of, this is a twofer. I really hate Phantom of Venice, and I enjoy the chemical puzzle in Castle Malloy. The second one is a very hot take, and, good for you. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yes.
I am very glad. Really hating Phantom of Venice surprisingly is a hot take, but also one I 100% agree with. Yeah. I feel like everyone I talk to fucking loves Phantom of Venice. It's just...
Respectfully disagree.
I would never vote for Holt. Not a hot take.
Not a hot take.
We're all in agreement that Holt is an asshole.
Absolutely. Nope, never voting for Holt.
Okay, now I reacted to this one on an earlier stream, so this one's just for you, Ariana.
Okay.
Scott Varnell is hot. Personality-wise, no, but face-wise, yeah.
What? Oh, you gotta love yourself, hon.
That is literally what I said. Those are like my exact words, Ariana.
I'm just like, oh, you gotta look beyond these plain white bastards.
Okay. Shattered Medallion is an okay game, and Kapu Cave is a pretty decent game. I agree with you.
I agree with you.
You know what? I should be getting back to playing Kapu Cave on stream, because I haven't finished it. Because you know what? It is such a vibe. The sound design in that game is honestly the best in any of the games.
I love the sound design in that game. I love the constant, sound of jungle around you.
Or, the ocean. Being on the ocean. I really hate the fishing minigame. But, it is so nice to just be there and quiet. Yeah. And the sounds, and then the music, and, the sound effects of, the splashing on the water. Yeah. And you know what? I think I should make an aesthetic video of just... If it's just all fishing for 12 hours.
Hell yeah.
I'm doing it.
Do it. That'd be fun.
Renata is underrated.
Abso-freaking-lutely. I don't see enough love for Renata. I think she is golden. I think she is delightful. And I adore her. 100% agree. And I'm glad that you had that hot take because, people don't. There need to be more appreciation threads for Renata. End of story.
Agreed. Okay, another one along the lines of earlier is Kapu Cave is a fun, chill game. Great for those who like mini games. Yeah?
Yeah, can't disagree there. It's definitely chock full of mini games. That's for sure.
Yeah. Midnight in Salem wasn't that bad. I am glad you enjoy it.
I would never take anyone's enjoyment of anything away from them.
Yes.
That said, I do not agree.
No.
It is no bueno. It's hardly functional.
Yeah. Okay, I don't like Deadly Device. Good characters and soundtrack, but the puzzles feel like I'm doing really hard science homework.
Well, I've got good news for you. A majority of them, not actual science. Very wrong.
I mean, I understand if you're not someone who likes difficult puzzle games. If you also, I wouldn't be surprised if you also said you didn't really like Shadow at the Water's Edge.
Yeah.
Because of how hard the puzzles can be.
definitely a more cerebral game.
And that's not like shade.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's just that, I can see where
brains
you would
work
think
in
that
different ways.
It just seems too much like homework. I get that.
Absolutely.
However,
especially since a lot of it is like, okay, so find out the answer to this question in a book, and it's like, okay, this is just a teacher's scavenger hunt. Okay, I don't need this.
Yeah. I don't like Train nearly as much as everyone else seems to. It's not even close to a favorite. I think that I really enjoy Last Train to Blue Moon Canyon. I find it enjoyable. I like the cast. I like the soundtrack. I like the sound design. I think it's a pretty good game, but I also know that it is tinted by my nostalgia goggles. And I think that a lot of other people also find it probably a lot better because they played it when they were younger. But if you're someone who didn't play it when you were younger, I maybe can see why.
Yeah, I think that it's not necessarily a nostalgia goggle thing so much as just how we were all, because honestly it also gives a weird feel of like a Disney Channel movie, like a back in the day Disney Channel movie, like
there's
the Phantom of the Megaplex, you know what I mean?
There's a certain like morality tale to it.
Yeah, and it's definitely like it's the way it's constructed is very, very just kids mystery, and I think that's definitely a vibe that doesn't necessarily continue forward if you didn't have those things.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean.
Yeah. So we're out of Instagram ones. Now let's move on to Tumblr. Okay. Ned sucks. Not a hot take. I don't really agree. I kind of agree, but I don't. It really depends on the game.
It does.
Or the book, or anything like that. It just really depends.
Yeah. I think, like in most cases, it is a very shades of gray sort of situation, and I don't mean the books. But I think he's not always great, and I don't like that they then like to do some like revisionist history to like pretend like he is, and like gaslighting us into thinking that we're overreacting to things, and it's like no. For example, why are we not addressing the fact that bitch
cheated on us? Yeah.
I hear someone in the background there.
Yeah. Now this one is a very big hot take that I don't agree with. Ghost Dogs of Moon Lake is the most overrated game.
That is just a vibe, man. That is pure vibedom. You know what? You, technically speaking, maybe it's not a great game. It's definitely not the most involved game. But you know, it is for sure a mystery vibe. Like, I respect your opinion, but also no.
Yeah.
Because, I love that. It just makes me think of going to the mountains with Mark and Grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always nice.
Right?
Okay, now this person has a lot. So, I like both Nedsy and Francie.
Okay.
Okay, however, Deirdre.
Yeah.
That's you know. Message in a haunted mansion is my least fave.
That is reasonable. I love the game, but that's 100. That's like 90% nostalgia goggles, 10% just loving the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good, like,
Yeah.
really, it's not.
Understandable. It's an early game. It's not great. It's not.
Yeah. No. I liked Henry Bolet, but didn't really get the hype. Kind of the same with Dave Gregory, too. I'm more of a Grigor, Dylan Carter, Joe Hardy girl.
Girl, friend, person. I don't know your gender, but my instant reaction to that is always just going to be girl, regardless of who you are.
That one fandom girl, so...
Okay, cool. Samesies, you know? Never got, like...
Yeah.
I like, back in the day, I enjoyed, just the, like, the flirtiness of Dave. But otherwise, like, no, I'm right there with you. Grigor and who are the other ones?
Dylan Carter and Joe Hardy.
Not so much Dylan, but definitely the other two.
Yeah. I mean, they're all fictional men. To me, it's all the same. Yeah. I'm good, you know. It's not doing anything for me. I love Labyrinth of Lies. It was the game that introduced me to the series. That is going to add to your enjoyment. Absolutely. I think Labyrinth of Lies is a mini game-a-palooza that is vaguely wrapped in a plot of sorts. I don't think it's a good story. I like the characters, though, and I think a lot of the puzzles are fun.
And it's one of the prettier games, for sure.
Yes, it's very pretty. I would agree.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I'll agree with you on that.
You're not wrong.
You know, you can love it. I enjoy playing it sometimes. Soundtrack? Yeah. Mwah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. I'm not as big a fan of Scopa as others are. I'll play it, and I won't really stop me from playing Ven, but it's not the allure playing the game for me. Oh my god!
Do people actually enjoy playing Scopa, or do they just like hating
fucking
Scopa?
Love it. No. When I
like the kids that you taught Scopa to.
When I put up on our Etsy, our stickers of Scopa Stan and Scopa Hater, Scopa Stan sold out, and I had to restock it. And Scopa Hater still has some. So, that is a hot take, apparently. And it's a hot take that, for us, we should have taken as your experiences are not universal. You know, I guess. I really like chores in a Nancy Drew game. It adds to the fun. That is a hot take.
That is definitely a hot take. I don't completely disagree with you, but at the same time, when they're like, it's reliant on doing those chores, and you're like, I'm supposed to be solving a mystery. What the hell do you have me doing? This is absolute capitalist garbage. So, you know, maybe it's just different points of view.
Yeah. Okay. Oof, this one is... I don't like not even one of the games numbered from 25 to 31. I thought Ash and Tomb both had a number of good ideas, but they wound up either poorly executed or severely underutilized. Dead had boring puzzles and characters so annoying I didn't even want to interact with them. Yes, including Ryan, consider that another hot take if you want, as well as the world's most predictable villain. I legit remember nothing from Shattered Medallion, Spy, and Lie, except being bored, and I wanted Ghost of Thornton Hall to be as scary as I found Saw, but it just wasn't. So while I don't think it's necessarily a bad game in its own right, I still associate some kind of mild disappointment with it, and definitely suffers from similar problems to those games previously mentioned. That is a whole lot of hot takes right in there.
Holy shit, yeah. Also, and I love Ryan. I adore Ryan, but I get it. She's a bit much.
Yeah.
I can understand it.
You know what I'm thinking, though, is that game, to me, suffers from, like, or that kind of character in these games suffers from a very Whedon-like banter style.
I was gonna say, you're manic pixie science girl.
Yeah, it's a very, like
real willowy, real...
Well, I'm thinking she's Felicia Day kind of a, like, vibe that they're putting out there.
Sorry.
But, like, I get that. And I think a lot of these games actually fall under that, like, pitfall. Like, Shattered Medallion, definitely Sunny also has that sort of vibe to him. And Bess, a lot of the ways she talks in that. Tomb of the Lost Queen, we see a little of that as well, actually. I think, actually, Secret of the Water's Edge is the one that really started that, and it kept going up, and I think the peak one for that is Deadly Device. I think then it goes back down. But I think everyone in Deadly Device kind of had that vibe to them other than Ellie.
Yeah.
That kind of, like, quick back and forth kind of a thing. But I honestly think that Sea of Darkness suffered from that a lot. Like, everything in Sea of Darkness was very much like, yeah, I guess that happened, you know?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know.
Say that I can't say that... That's definitely a take. It's a hard stance. I admire the hard stance.
Mine?
No, the person who said it.
There, okay.
Yeah.
My Nancy Drew hot take is that prior to C, Captive was the last game that not only felt like a decent game, that was well planned and thought through, it was also the last one that still felt like a Nancy Drew game specifically. Oh. Okay, no, I see. Okay. I see where they're going. So this is the same person.
Okay.
The other ones somehow felt like they lost the whole Nancy Drew identity. If it wasn't for Nancy being blah, 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 blah.
Being blah, 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 blah.
It felt like the creators were just going through the motions and following a formula rather than telling the mystery stories they wanted to tell. Okay. I can't read all of this, otherwise I'm going to be reading a monologue. But it's the whole thing that we just went through, that they felt like those games that we were just talking about are all, they just don't feel like Nancy Drew to them.
Just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Bringing up the Whedon thing.
Oh, and Tex is easily way hotter than Dave, and I will accept no criticism on this specific point, constructive or otherwise.
You know what? You won't get a fight from us.
Nope. And Mary's hotter than them both.
Yes.
But yeah. I can see what they mean, I just don't agree.
Yeah.
Oof. I have more fun when I play Ransom of the Seven Ships or Shattered Medallion than when I play Spy or Dead. Even though the story is stronger in the latter two, I find the gameplay unengaging to the point of just going through the motions for 80% of it. So, they like Ran and Med more than Spy and Dead.
I will say, it all rhymed.
I will say, I don't think that Silent Spy is very fun to play for me.
I was gonna say also, I don't think that, the story in the latter two, like they said that the story is more well thought out or something. I disagree. I think Silent Spy
is a mess.
Silent Spy is an absolute mess. Shattered Medallion is not much better. Again, love the game, but it's got no.
It has no plot to it really.
It figured out where it wanted to go and just made it happen. It didn't bother actually paving the way there.
Yeah, it's not very good. But that's okay. It's got other qualities. However, I would say that Ransom of the Seven Ships also has a bad story. And
yes.
It's honestly a fine game other than the blackface. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. And if you have to say other than the blackface, then it's not. Like...
It's too big of an asterisk.
There's too big of an asterisk here. There's no way that you can, like, actually...
And then what was the other game?
They like Ran and Med, but they don't like Spy or Dead.
Right. Deadly Device has a better story. Sorry, I was thinking about the latter.
Out of those, like, Deadly Device is the better story, but...
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because it has Deirdre in it.
Maybe.
Creature of Kapu Cave is a good game. The story elements are just hidden behind some bizarre dialogue triggers. I mean, there's just some bizarre dialogue in general. And I think it suffers a bit from, like, Sherlock Holmes syndrome of it being very, very difficult to figuring out the ending. And
I knew that he had fought in that area during the war because he had this kind of tobacco, which only grows in...
Yeah,
you know?
So it's like... I think that's my main issue with it, is that, like, there's no way to really be like, yes, he used to work on a pineapple farm, and so when his aunt gave his land away, he was able to figure out how to genetically, like, what?
Like, there is not giving us everything so that you can have, like, a little bit of a wrap-up, and then there is keeping back vital information, like, this is part of solving it, and we should have been able to find that. This shouldn't be something that's told to us afterward.
Yeah. But otherwise, honestly, the game is fine. We just talked about liking the vibes. So, but yeah. Curse of Blackmore Manor is just way too hard. I mean...
It's definitely convoluted.
I'm gonna say it's... I don't want to be like this, but we didn't know that GameFAQs or any of that happened, like, existed when we played that game as a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old. And we figured it out pretty easily. Yeah. That, you know, when we tried to play it on Senior Detective, the second playthrough, we couldn't do it because of the typing game and my laptop not registering our keystrokes like it should.
That was frustrating.
So... I'm just gonna say it's not. I'm sorry. It's not that hard. I think you guys just need to have better reading comprehension sometimes. I don't, there's a puzzle. It's gonna tell me what to do, okay? So I don't really care about reading that. I'm gonna try and solve the puzzle. Why can't I figure out how to solve the puzzle? Well, maybe you should have fucking read the thing that you were like, I don't need to know.
Oh my god. I've been watching some streamers who it's just like, and not Nancy Drew ones, but like other things where it's like, yeah, well, you would know that about the weapon or about the upgrade that you just got if you bothered to read it, but you went, nah, I don't want to read it. There is going in blind, and then there's just being willfully ignorant. Like,
yeah.
There's a sign right there that says, do not trespass. And you're just like, I don't feel like reading anything on my right side. Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not trying to call you out.
No.
It's not about you. We don't know how you play the game. It's just that, like, I was 12, like... Yeah. 13, maybe?
Maybe.
Almost 13? I don't know. Either way, it was just...
The only thing that really gave us a hard time was the arm
The puzzle. Yeah, the so,
and that's just because
to be fair.
That's a hard thing to draw, also.
I think I think it was because we didn't we thought it was the drawing and it was actually the crest on the door, and we actually just didn't realize that until someone pointed it out to us when we were adults. So, like, there's that. But you know, we figured it out.
Trial and error works, you guys.
We figured it out.
Trial and error works. It does.
Yeah. I actually love Ned and Nancy so much. I like the representation of a long-term relationship. Would be better if he hadn't cheated on her, in my opinion. Like, that's my opinion.
It'd be better if there wasn't a lot of emotional manipulation going on. Like, in every conversation. Both sides. I'm not saying, like,
they're not,
Nancy is flawless. I'm saying
she's not.
they're not a healthy couple. It's not a great... And they're too young to be so committed. Like, it's fine to have that relationship, absolutely. Like, but at the same time, they act like they're supposed to be married. And it's like, they're 19.
Yeah.
So maybe if this isn't working, take a break and go about your lives. You're in college. You're out there jet setting. You're on different paths at the moment. If those paths reconverge back in your hometown, you know, where you guys always end up, then you could rekindle that, you know?
Yeah.
It's fine. I would absolutely love a, like, late, they're like late 20s. They've gone and done all the stuff that they wanted to do. You know, they've had these crazy adventures, and they come back to River Heights, and they're like, oh, Nancy, oh, Ned. And it's like, they just fall back into it. They're just like, bam. Without skipping a beat, and then they just like, yeah, exactly, a Lifetime
Hallmark
movie.
Channel.
Little Hallmark, home for the holidays piece, you know?
Yeah, of course. I feel like Ash is underrated, but I think I just like it because we get to be in River Heights for once. Could have done a lot more with the switching characters mechanic, and could have had a Ned we could talk to in person.
Yeah, that was my main issue. He's literally the only one that we don't get to talk to in person.
I know.
It's like,
it
what
just
the
felt
hell?
like a half. It feels like a half-finished game sometimes.
It does.
It like,
in a lot of ways, it feels like they ran out of time.
It really does. So I think maybe the character switching mechanic took up a lot of development time.
Yeah, maybe.
And then it just kind of, I don't know. Besides the graphics, I sort of liked mid. Like, it would have been, like, middle top of a list ranking if not for the PS2 looking models. I mean, I feel like the graphics are not the worst part about the game. But I'm glad you enjoy it.
Exactly. Again, not going to take anyone's enjoyment from something. It's just... It's not well thought out. They don't... The historical stuff is just like...
I'm just...
You don't take one of the most well-documented instances in all of U.S. history and, like...
Yeah. Make fan fiction?
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't like it. But that's, like, I'm glad you like it.
Yes. I just have personally a hard stance when it comes to Salem witch trials, I guess.
I think to me the worst part is the Tituba stuff.
The Tituba stuff is not good.
It's not acceptable. To me, it's kind of, I'm gonna go back to, like, with Ransom of the Seven Ships. Mm-hmm. Of, like, sure, it could be a fine game, except that's a big asterisk, and I just can't. But yeah. Considering I wake up and you guys are still horny for Henry Bolet meme, it should be noted I don't get most of the Henry hype. I like him as a character, don't get me wrong, but OMG, you guys. Not a hot take, apparently, because someone else already said it. So now you know, there's others like you.
And again, I agree. You guys, raise your standards just a little bit.
Yeah. And then there's a reference to Megan Gate, and I don't want to get into Megan Gate, so I'm going to continue onward without it.
Okie doke.
Yeah, because it takes way too much to explain, and I'm not about that life right now.
No.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Side note, one of the reasons I love the Clue Crew is because we all have vastly different opinions on each of the games, but still love them all. Exactly. Maybe a couple excluded. That's so nice of you to say. I know, right? Okay. Like, I was reading a post a couple of days ago that said that Ghost of Thornton Hall had a lazy writing. Meanwhile, I think Ghost of Thornton Hall had the most dynamic and thought-provoking writing, giving all of the characters deep backstories, filling the entire atmosphere with tragedy, not to mention carbon monoxide, which is honestly my favorite ghost because because it's actually why people started seeing so many ghosts around the same time. Anyway, all that to say, Deirdre and Nancy would be a perfect hot summer fling. The tension is so heavy, but would not work as a couple. I'm sorry, I'll disappear for a while. Also, I enjoyed Mid. Oh, I'll go now. Midwesterner spotted! I mean, I'm sorry, but they spelled OPE. O-P-E. It's 100%. Yeah. I found you. Rat. Figured you out, Midwesterner.
You've been spotted. Yeah, no, I can't imagine thinking that. I mean, you can have whatever opinion you want of Ghost Thornton Hall, but I feel like lazy writing is definitely not something I would ever accuse it of.
No. I feel like it's, like, convoluted.
Yeah, it can be a little convoluted.
It can be over, like, it maybe goes a little harder than it needs to.
It's got that Southern Gothic
it does.
Melodrama feel to it,
It really does. So yeah, I agree with this poster about that other poster.
Yeah.
Secondhand. But I honestly think that Deirdre and Nancy would work as a couple, in my opinion, but I think you're... You know.
To be fair, we don't have any proof either which way, so everyone's opinion is valid at that point.
Okay. And now the one last place of hot takes. Okay. I have also already reacted to all of these, so Ariana, these are for you. Spy shouldn't exist.
Yeah. Go on.
Yep, 100%. Secrets Can Kill Remastered is worse than the original.
Yes, it absolutely is, because it doesn't have any of the charm.
Yeah, it's just bad. They shouldn't have done it. Ghost of Thornton Hall is ugly. I mean...
I can see some of it that if you don't appreciate... Yeah, I personally think it's all very pretty.
The textures can be, like, are just... They're too photorealistic in places to a point where I think that some of them can look ugly. Like, I'm thinking about Jesselyn's jacket and Wade's jacket specifically are, like, the texture is, like, it's too much compared to the actual model, and it looks like it. It's not great, in my opinion. But yeah.
Okay.
Blackmore Manor is mid, as in it's fine. It's not.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah. Again, there might be some nostalgia goggles on for us because it was
sure.
It was the first game we played and then had to wait for a new game. So, more of the titles should have the.
Yes. Actually, I wholeheartedly agree with that, simply because it's I mean, I feel like that's the Nancy Drew, like...
Yeah.
Book, you know what I mean? The Hidden Staircase. The Secret of the Lilac Inn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
Lonnie was terrible, and most, if not all, of the other VAs were also bad.
I definitely agree Lonnie was terrible. There have been
I can tell because you marked this to that one.
I did?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
You're like, I have no memory of this.
Not a single, not a single brain cell's going there. Nope.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, Lonnie, she had a specific style, and I understand people getting attached to it. I do not care about replacing her. I have no, even without her personality, I have no particular love for how she did the character. She did not have human-like reactions to things, and she definitely never sounded like a 19-year-old. She sounded like she needed to stop smoking, and like, you know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I know this one. Best thing for the franchise would have been for her to lose the license after C. The second best would be for them to lose it now.
Oof.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I think things are improving.
I do as well.
So I'm going to say that I think that that's an overly harsh take.
Yeah.
But good on you for having it.
Yeah, you know what? Have your take. Good for you. Strongly disagree. I think it's not even that I have faith, it's that I enjoyed this last game to an extent where I'm like, okay, even if they, you know, I liked the game. I feel like that was a redeeming factor.
The abbreviations from dog onward have been disgraceful. It's an odd thing to have a strong opinion on, but
you know, but have that opinion. You know, today I found out that Mercury is being influenced by Leo, which means, you know, decisive and hard opinions. So, you know.
Oh, is Freddie Mercury in Gatorade again?
One of my coworkers said it's in the microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's incredibly cringe that her employees still use code names. It's pretty cringe that they ever did to begin with. So the fact that they did to begin with, I don't find cringe at all because they were interns who I think is weird that we would expect to know their names, especially since they were all very young women.
Absolutely.
So I don't, and honestly, in my opinion, that stays for now too, because like if they want to exist on the internet in such a way for like professionally, I feel like they shouldn't have to put their own names out there and stuff. But maybe that's coming from Risa Krolmeister.
Right? The Krolmeister sisters here have certain opinions about, you know, keeping your public life and your personal life separate, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so. But yeah. That is it. Ariana, do you have any
hot
takes that you want to share with us?
Do you have one?
I feel like all of my hot takes have been exposed already.
I was going to say, I feel like we're pretty well documented with our hot takes.
Yeah. I think my hottest take of the night was, honestly, Curse of Blackmore Manor isn't hard. You guys just need to have better reading comprehension. I think that's my hot take of the night.
I think that was a pretty hot take, and I seconded it, so.
But I think that it should also be known that sometimes I don't do the reading, and then I get confused, and that's on me.
And then we look back and we go, well, damn it, if I just read this.
Yeah. Literally.
We recognize when we make it more difficult for ourselves. You guys should too.
I've been watching Prosy D Plays Games because it's very funny.
What plays games? I couldn't hear.
Prosy D Plays Games.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And he, the current playthrough, he and his friend Steve are playing Mario RPG.
The Paper Mario?
No, not Paper Mario.
Oh,
the one that is the predecessor to Paper Mario. So Mario RPG, I think it is.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But while they were starting, like, the game and everything, they started going into battles, and the game asked, do you want us to explain timed hits? And Steve hit no. And Presidio was like, we should have read that. And then they were, trying to
not
figure
getting
out,
the timed hits?
No, didn't understand timed hits. And I think that was natural consequences for Steve, that he didn't read it, and so then he didn't know how to do it.
That's how it works.
So yeah, if you guys want to tell us any more hot takes, you can let us know on mostly our Discord. And
mostly
if you don't,
Discord.
If you
don't want me to know, go to X and
oh, actually,
Tumblr
no, I don't. I never try to contact us through Twitter.
Thank God.
I do not go on there.
I do not go on there at all. Like mine exists, and I don't go on it. Sometimes I get notifications, and I'm like, "What the hell is going on here?" But that's it. No reactions to them.
Yeah. So there's that. But if you want to get a hold of me, maybe Instagram or Tumblr. Those are probably the best places. But Discord, really.
Discord is the only place I'm going to see. So,
No.
Also, you can comment and review on on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Pod, also just our YouTube channel, and
since that's
Spotify.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you comment on the YouTube podcast one, you're just commenting on the YouTube video, I think. So, it's the same thing, but, different.
It's just how you can access it, I guess. Whatever.
Because
I
Google,
hate
am I
Google.
right?
I hate Google. I'm done with it.
Yeah. And if you guys want to give us money, I don't know why you would, but you can, on Twitch or on patreon.com/Krolmeister Sisters, where you can get podcast night VODs. Okay. So yeah.
You've had enough of us for the night.
Get out of here. We love you so much. And as a reminder, I'm Risa.
And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister Sisters, and we're asking you guys to stay sleuthy.
Hot take. Don't stay sleuthy.
Oh.